storm took the whole block first. The shops across the street went dark. Then the apartments on either side of mine dropped out one by one like teeth. When my lights finally died, the hum I never knew I lived with collapsed into a soft pressure, the kind you feel when an elevator stops between floors. Rain clattered hard enough to sound like it was trying to get in. The building has a basement breaker panel. I'm not the superintendent, but I'm the only one on my floor who bothers with it. I grabbed the little camping lantern I keep for outages and opened my door to a hallway that felt recently emptied, as if everyone had just been standing there, listening. The carpet held a faint chemical smell and wet wool from someone's coat. All the usual machinery. The elevator, the refrigerator in 4B, the soda machine had fallen silent. The silence had a texture. It wasn't mechanical. It wasn't alive, but it was there. On the stairwell, my lantern drew a weak circle on the concrete. Halfway down, another circle of light floated up the shaft from the basement. Same size, same color temperature as mine. I stopped. It drifted a little, as if a hand were testing the beam against the steps, then clicked away. I told myself someone else had the same idea I did. I told myself I was relieved not to be the only one. The basement door pushed open with a cold, elastic sound. Damp air, metal, and mildew. Somewhere past the laundry room, water was tapping into a pan with the steadiness of a metronome. My lantern found the floor, arcs of wet shoe scuffs, a trail of drops leading along the cinder block corridor toward the storage cages. The storm had forced something up through the drains. That explained the smell. It did not explain the voices. They were barely there, someplace between the pipes and the walls. Two of them, close enough to each other to overlap into one slender thread. Not words, just the feeling of words. Urgent, like someone telling someone else to be quiet. I lifted the lantern, then decided I didn't want to advertise myself and thumbed it off. The darkness didn't move. The voices went on for 3 breaths longer, and then stopped so cleanly it felt like a hand had closed over them. I made myself cross to the electrical room. The breaker box had been painted shut a dozen times. A rag hung on the knob like a little white flag. I set the lantern on the floor and used my shoulder to worry the panel open. My phone had 1 bar of battery left. I was thinking in short, practical pieces. Top row first, main last, count to 5 between resets. The lantern's fan made a tiny, tired sound against the plastic cage. Something scraped the concrete behind me. I turned the lantern and found an object that didn't belong to the building. A small portable radio, the cheap kind with a wrist strap, resting on its back like a beetle. No light, no LED, no steady blink. I hadn't seen it when I came in. The wrist strap was wet. I picked it up out of reflex, and the casing pressed cold into my palm. No battery cover, no batteries inside at all. From the corridor came a metallic crash, as if a cart had hit the far wall, followed by footsteps sprinting hard toward the room. The speed of them flipped something in me. I didn't think. I killed the lantern and braced my back to the panel. The footsteps poured past the door, close enough that I felt the air move, then split into 2 sets going opposite directions at the T-junction. No light, no bodies, only the sound. When I could breathe again, I reset what I could and left the main. I climbed to the lobby by guess and touch, every landing a different temperature of dark. Outside, the storm braided rain with wind in long ropes. I called emergency services. and said there might be someone in our basement. Saying it out loud made it less believable. The dispatcher told me a car was already in the area for downed lines. I waited under the awning with my phone face down and the radio in my pocket because I hadn't caught myself putting it there. By the time the officers arrived, the grid had lurched alive in patches. Our hallway fluorescents flickered 3 times and held. They walked the basement, checked the cages, shone lights into the laundry room and behind the boilers. Nothing. No footprints now, just a wet sheen drying down. No radio until I realized mine was in my pocket and hid it like a stolen thing. We all thanked each other for being reasonable. Back upstairs, the building adjusted to being itself again. The elevator coughed and settled. A refrigerator started. The rain softened into a steady hiss. I locked my door and set the lantern on the counter. The radio sat beside it, clean and mute, as if it had never been on a floor. I told myself I'd throw it out when morning came. The intercom on my kitchen wall buzzed once, a low insect vibration, then steadied into a whispering band of air. I pressed the listen button. The line breathed, very quietly. The speaker shaped my name in a voice grainy with distance, careful not to wake the neighbors. It was mine.
Like, share, subscribe.